السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. كيف الجميع؟ إن شاء الله بخير. Today inshallah we are going to start with the chapter 3 activity 1. We're talking about the proteins and association of amino acids. So why we discuss proteins, why we study proteins especially? Because all the characteristics in the body are caused by proteins. As we have seen before, the eye color, the hair color, everything, let's say, controlled by enzymes, and enzymes are proteins. So that's why it's very important to study these proteins and how they are formed. Okay, so we are going now to talk about proteins, how these proteins are formed, okay, and what are the differences between different proteins. So that's why it's very important to study these proteins and see the differences between them and how these differences can affect different, let's say, characteristics or let's say chemical reactions and so on. So first we are going to discuss the proteins, what they are made of, and how these proteins are made. First, we're starting with the introduction. We say in the introduction that proteins are complex molecules of diverse functions. So they have many functions in the body, and they are not simple molecules, they are very complex molecules. They also constitute most of the cell content and in turn form your entire body. So every single cell contains a large number of proteins of different tasks. Okay, so that's why a large part of the body contain proteins, like the muscles, like many other organs. But what does a protein contain? So the protein itself is made of what, and how it is it structurally organized, and what are the factors that affect its function. So now we are discussing the proteins, their components, their functions, and their structure. So first, let's start with the first question here saying, write all the posed problems. So what are the posed problems here? Okay, and what are the questions that we are going to answer? And let's say, what are the new facts that we are going to learn about these proteins? So now the posed problem, as we all know, should be a kind of question. A question. The first one is, what does a protein contain? What does a protein contain? The second posed the problem, how is it structurally organized? Okay, another question mark. And the third one is going to be, what are the factors that affect its function? Okay, so now these are the three problems, the three posed problems that we are going to answer during this chapter, okay, and these activities. What does a protein contain? How it is structurally organized as a structure, how it is made, and what can be the factors that may affect its function. فإذن, to solve these problems, let's observe document B and answer the following questions. Document B, structural organization of the protein. So this is the first sentence that we need to study, that a protein molecule is a chain of repeated subunits. Okay, so the protein itself, it is a molecule, it is a chain of repeated subunits. Oh, sorry. Yes, yes, you hear me now? I'm sorry. So we're talking about proteins, okay, that are made, proteins are made of a chain of repeated subunits, okay. So now these are the three problems that we are going to discuss. What does a protein contain? How is it structurally organized? What are the factors that affect its function? Now, the first one, we're talking about the first pose the problem. What does a protein contain? We say that a protein molecule is a chain of repeated subunit. Protein molecule is a chain of repeated subunits. Okay. No problem. Okay, sorry, the mic was closed. I didn't see it. Now, what are Iman? What are the subunits that make proteins, as you can see in the figure? Yalla ya Iman. What are the subunits that make the protein? Okay, Yusuf is now with us also. Yalla ya Iman. What are the subunits that make the protein?
استاذ يعني اقرا document 3. استاذ ما في صوت عندك ابدا.
Damn, what are the subunits that make the proteins? Okay, can anyone answer? What are the subunits that make the proteins? They are called what?
Amino acids.
استاذ
I can't hear you.
acid.
Did you speak? Did you speak, ya Iman? I can't hear you. Amino acids. Okay, فإذا they are the amino acids. طيب, since all proteins are made of amino acids, طيب, what make proteins different from each others? What make proteins different from each others? So since all of them are made of amino acids, look with me here. Okay, this sentence is very important. This one in blue. Okay, in blue. In a protein molecule, one amino acid can be repeated more than one time. So it is not necessary for a protein to contain all 20 different amino acids found in nature. So how many types of amino acids we have in nature? We have 20. Okay, so there are 20 kinds of amino acids in nature that are mainly obtained from eating different types of food during each meal, or synthesized by the body itself. Each amino acid is coded by a specific sequence of DNA bases. So now, what makes a protein different than another protein? That each protein is characterized by a determined number, a specific number, identity, type يعني, and the specific sequence of amino acids. Let us take some examples about this. Okay, let us take some examples about this. For example, we have the insulin, the hormone responsible for controlling the amount of sugar in the body. The insulin now, okay, is made of around 51 amino acids. It is a protein. While hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in the blood, contains 574 amino acids. So now these are two proteins, but they differ from each other by what? They differ now by the number of amino acids. Let's take other example. For example, the amino acid of humans and amino acid of, let's say, cows. Both contain 51 amino acids. But this protein is different than the other. Since they have the same number of amino acids, they differ by what? Maybe they differ by the type of these amino acids. Okay, they differ sometimes by the sequence, so the arrangement of these amino acids. Let me give you an example. For example, we have 4 amino acids only. Suppose A, B, C, D. Suppose we have 4 amino acids only, A, B, C, and D. How many proteins do you think I can make from these 4 amino acids? Yalla, who can answer? How many proteins do you think I can make from these amino acids if I have A, B, C, D only as amino acids? So, how many proteins I can make here? Give me a number. Give me a number. How many amino acids? Yalla, for example. And let's say I am going to use these 4 amino acids, okay, in the protein, not 3, not 2 of them. I will not make a protein of 3. La. The protein should be made of only 4 amino acids. For example, how many proteins I can make from these 4 amino acids only? How many proteins do you think? Hadi is joining now. Yalla, any answer? How many proteins I can make from these amino acids? So you can make A, 4 A's, or 4 B's, 4 C's, 4 D's. So these are 4. You can make A, B, A, C, A, D. Another 4, another 3. You can make A, B, B, C, B, D, C, B, C, D, D, B, D, and so on. So from only 4 amino acids, you can make hundreds of proteins. What if the amino acids are 20 and you can use an unlimited number of amino acids to make proteins? So that's why we have millions of proteins. That's why we can make from these 20 amino acids only millions of proteins. Okay? Any question? Any question? طيب Iman, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. Iman, from where your body get the amino acids it needs?
From where my body should?
Get the amino acids. From where do you think your body get its amino acids? What do you think?
من animal proteins.
From the food you mean?
Protein.
Food, صح؟
صح.
طيب, does the food يا إيمان contain the same type of the protein you need? يعني exactly the same what your body needs?
No.
No. So that's why, look with me in this picture and let's discuss together what happens. Plants and animals make their amino acids. Then they string them together to make their proteins. So now you have the proteins in the plant and the proteins in the animal. You eat these animals and these plants. What happens, Ya Iman? Continue please the third sentence.
When you digest a protein, your body breaks it apart into individual amino acids again.
Okay, then?
To make your own proteins, your cells string these amino acids back together in a new order.
فإذا you eat the protein, your body digested into amino acids. Then your body cells will use these amino acids to build their own proteins. صح؟
صح.
طيب, Iman, if your body needs a large amount of amino acids, يعني let's say you are doing bodybuilding.
Yes.
In bodybuilding, what you are trying to do? Why they do bodybuilding?
حتى يكبروا المصل.
Exactly. And muscles are made of what? Proteins.
Proteins.
صح? They are made of proteins. طيب, ممتاز.
Yes.
So that's why they eat a lot of proteins from the food, but this is not enough. That's why they start to buy, okay, let's say, these amino acids that come in the jars and large, let's say, boxes. يعني artificial amino acids. Okay? These are the ones that contain powders. They take a scoop per day or something like that. So this is an additional source of amino acids. An additional source of amino acids. Okay? Because their bodies now need more amino acids than the normal amount that it usually takes. Why? Because they are trying to grow their proteins in a faster way. Okay? In a faster way. فإذا that's why we have, let's say, 20 types of amino acids in nature. They are obtained from eating different types of food during each meal. أو synthesized by the body itself. Some amino acids your body can make, while others they have to be taken from the food, let's say essentially, يعني meaning because they are very important and my body cannot make them. The ones that my body cannot make are called essential amino acids, and they are usually 9. The other 11 my body can make them from other types of amino acids. طيب. Okay, Dan, can you read the name of the essential amino acids? We don't have to learn them, but just the names. Okay, just the names of the essential and non-essential amino acids. يلا يا Dan, can you read them?
Esther.
Please. يلا, essential amino acids.
Histidine.
صح. Iso.
Leucine وماثيونين.
Methionine. Yes. Phenyl. Phenylalanine. Threonine. Tryptophan. Valine. Lysine. These are the important and essential amino acids, Yadam, that you have to take them from food. Your body cannot make them. Okay? That's why they call them essential, because we have to take them from the food. Okay? I cannot make them. My body cannot make them. While the others, okay, non-essential arginine, asparagine, glutamine, glycine, proline, serine, tyrosine, alanine, aspartate, cysteine, and glutamate, those my body can make them from other types. You heard about people called vegetarian? You know who are the vegetarians? Vegetarians are people who do not eat meat. Okay, they do not eat meat or egg or something like that. So those are missing, let's say, some essential amino acids. So that's why with time they may have some problems if they do not take these amino acids as pills. لأنه some of these amino acids, the essential one, are found mainly in animal products such as meat or eggs. Okay, so these are the essential. While the others, the body can make them normally. طيب, Khalid, what are the basic subunits of proteins? The question B, ya Khalid. Question B, what are the basic subunits of proteins? What do we call them? Yes, ya Khalid. Where is Khalid? Khalid is here. Hadi Yusuf, what are the basic subunits of the proteins? Yalla, help us with this. Amino acids, bravo ya Iman. فإذا they are the amino acids. Very good. طيب, what is the origin of these subunits? Pick out the origin of these subunits. Okay, from where we get these amino acids نحن? Plants and animals, exactly. فإذا the food, the different types of food from plants and animals. طيب, now, how do proteins differ from each others? How do they differ proteins from each others? How do they differ? By specific numbers. Yes, different amino acids, ya Khalid, correct. Different numbers, different types, and different sequence. Even if the two proteins have the same number or same type of the amino acids, if the sequence is different, this will give you a different type of proteins. Okay, this will give you a different type of proteins. You get it? طيب, is this clear for everyone? Is this clear for everyone? طيب, any question? طيب, let's read now together, okay, what could be some functions of proteins in the body. No, are proteins so important to study them specifically? Are they so important to study them alone? يعني to study the details of the proteins? Let's see what are, let's say, the importance or important jobs of these proteins. First, as cellular messengers. Cellular messengers. Okay, who is going to read the first box as cellular messenger? Yalla. Who will read the first one?
أستاذ أنا بقرأ.
اقرا انا.
طيب, let's Iman start. Let Iman start. يلا يا Iman, start the first one. Cellular messengers.
Cellular messengers. Receptor proteins stud the outside of your cell.
Yes.
And transmit signals to partner proteins on the inside of the cells.
فإذا some of these proteins work as receptors on the surface of the cell. فإذا they receive the different messages and they transmit it to the inside of the cell. This is one of the important function of the proteins. They work as messenger receptors. يعني they receive the messages. They receive the messages. Okay. Iman, continue. Cellular construction workers.
Huge clusters of proteins form molecular machines that do your cells heavy work,
Yes.
such as copying genes during cell division and making new proteins.
Exactly. So, if you remember the mitosis and meiosis, and you remember the fibers and how we separate the chromosomes, all these fibers and everything doing these jobs and tasks are proteins. So the fibers are made of proteins. they attach these chromosomes to the sides. Okay, فإذا all of these are proteins, the one that do this. Okay, so everything happens inside the body is done by proteins. Damn, yalla, muscles.
Okay. Muscle proteins called actin and myosin enable all muscular movement from blinking to breathing to roller blading.
Blading. فإذا every single muscle in your body يا دام is made of proteins called actin and myosin. طيب, these proteins are made of what? Of amino acids. You want to grow the muscle, you have to do two things. First, you train the muscle, and when the muscle is trained, is exercised, okay, it will require more amino acids. You give the muscle more amino acids, so this means it will grow bigger and bigger and become stronger. طيب, how much protein do I need per day, for example, for my body? If I am not doing bodybuilding, pay attention. If I'm not doing bodybuilding, for example, my body needs every day 1 gram of proteins per kilogram of body weight. يعني for example, Khalid, your body weight is how much? How much is your body weight, ya Khalid? Or Hadi, or 68, mashallah. 68. So, if you are not doing bodybuilding, ya Khalid, not doing exercises, your body needs every day 68 grams of proteins. Okay? 68 grams of proteins. But, if you are doing bodybuilding and trying to grow muscles, you will need somehow double this amount. يعني around 136 grams. Why it doubles? Because I am trying to what? To grow the muscles. So I have to give them more and more amino acids. So that's why you have to search for the types of foods that contain the proteins, like the meat, the tuna, the eggs, the milk, the different seeds, and so on. طيب. Okay. Can you continue the hair and nails, Yadam, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Hair and nail, a protein called alpha keratin forms your hair and fingernails, and also is the major component of feathers, wool, clothes, scales, horns, and hooves.
Okay, so for the hair and nails, the protein is called alpha keratin. So this is the important protein to make your hair stronger. Okay, it's called the keratin. Okay, for your hair, for your fingernails. Also, feathers. Where do we find feathers, guys?
Birds.
Birds, exactly. The wool. The wool.
Sheep.
Sheep, اللي هو الصوف. Clothes. You know what are the clothes? Clothes المخالب.
Okay.
Okay, all animals that hunt. Lions, tigers, eagles, and so on. The clothes are also made of keratin. طيب, scales.
Fish.
And on the body of the fish, exactly. Horns.
Horns يعني مثل قرون.
صحيح. In cows, buffaloes, deer, and so on. And hooves. Hooves are, let's say, the feet of the, let's say, of some animals, like the sheep, cows, goats, horses, and so on. These are called the hooves. So all of these are made of what? Or made of a protein called keratin. And for your body cells to make keratin, they need some type of amino acids in the food. But never ever, guys, believe what they say that this shampoo contains keratin. This is not true. Why? لأنه even if you put keratin on your hair, this will not benefit the hair. Because the cells that are making the hairs, they need amino acids so they can build keratin. You cannot give them the keratin directly. So if it is true that the shampoo contains keratin, we should drink this shampoo, not put it on our hairs. Okay, so the amino acids of the keratin enter to our body and reach our cells. طيب, يلا. Guys, who can read the antibodies? Who can read the antibodies? يلا. Yusuf, Hadi, Khalid. Antibodies. يلا يا خالد, تفضل.
Antibodies are proteins that help defend your body against
Foreign invaders.
foreign invaders such as bacteria and viruses.
Yes, ya Khalid. Now these are the proteins defend your body against the bacteria and viruses. So now, one of the major factor in fighting coronavirus is that your body is producing enough antibodies. How I can make sure of that? If I am eating very good, well, healthy food. Okay, so my body can produce enough antibodies so it can fight all types of bacteria and viruses. طيب, Khalid, brain and nerves.
Ion channel proteins control brain signaling
by allowing
small molecules into and out of nerve cells.
Exactly, ion channel proteins. So as in brain cells, they have a protein that work as a channels to help ions get into and out of these cells so they can work or function normally. So that's why proteins are also very important for the nerve cells. Very good. طيب, Hadi or Yusuf, can any one of you read about enzymes? Yalla, Hadi or Yusuf, can any one of you read about enzymes? Hadi, Yusuf. Anyone can read about enzymes or blood? Hadi and Yusuf are not available now. Khalid, can you continue, please?
يلا أي وحدة.
Enzymes.
Enzymes in your
Saliva.
stomach, and small intestine are proteins that help you digest food.
Exactly. Enzymes in your saliva, in your stomach, and small intestine are the proteins that help you digest what? The food. So these enzymes are what? In fact, they are proteins. They are proteins. Yes. طيب, Khalid, what about the blood?
The hemoglobin
Protein.
carries oxygen in your blood to to every part of your body.
Exactly, hemoglobin protein. So when you have lack of hemoglobin, we say this person has anemia. He does not make enough hemoglobin. Why? His body is not producing enough amino acids to make the hemoglobin. And you studied, all of you, in grade 9 about enzymes in digestion. صح? You studied that they are catalysts, that they help speed up the chemical reactions. They are very important, let's say, molecules inside your body. So that's why every single cell contains hundreds of enzymes for different types of reactions. You remember when we discussed about DNA duplication? You remember the enzymes DNA polymerase and helicase? These are enzymes, يعني in fact they are proteins. So all of these are proteins, very important proteins, okay, that they can do different functions inside your body. Okay, any question? Anything not clear? Okay. So let's see if we can take a small, let's say, question or a small exercise. طيب. Let's take a question 1. Very easy, small one, page 92. Okay, as a homework. يلا. فإذا page homework, let's write it down here also. Homework, page 92, okay, question 1. Okay, very easy, simple one, okay, small, and it's a kind of a training to these, of the part that we have taken. Okay, guys? So please prepare this for the next time, inshallah. يلا. السلام عليكم.